So I'm assuming this is where we would have like 30 seconds of intro music playing. We can't hear what we're saying.
Mm-hmm. We're
So,
making hard eye contact with camera.
yes, hard eye
One or
contact.
two.
Acknowledging both cameras at this moment. And then now.
Maybe a montage too of like some World War II soldiers marching.
Yeah, I'll just find one of my mutuals to get a schizo at it.
Yeah,
Um,
nuclear warheads going
yeah,
off.
yeah, perfect time for that. And then we can lock in. Hi, I am Joseph, and this is
Taylor, hello there.
Welcome to Irreality. This is episode 1. This is very preliminary. We're brand new. I mean, he's done a few podcasts on his own. I have an extensive background in recording and broadcast media, yet have done very little with it. But today we are introducing you to Irreality, a silly goose time with the occasional wearing of the serious hat. Um,
If I may just say, I think when looking at the podcast space, what we decided was needed was two more white guys to set up a mic in their living room and, and share their hot takes.
Thank you for saying that with the very first sip. I'm glad I didn't spray paint my walls with orange juice, which is very peaty. We should actually do some stuff on the esoteric health sphere eventually too.
If you had spray painted your walls, we could have pitched this to HGTV.
So yes, already the silly goose time has commenced. So funny enough, picked him up from his place, and on the way over we stopped at Shell Station to pick up some water Malone drank, which looks like it's 100% juice. And what do we have today? The Ghost Raspberry Cream.
I'm not sure I need you outing me like that. No free sponsors.
I feel like it turned that for a reason. But yeah, so we were in there. First of all, it smelled odd, like cheese when we walked in.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, I turned to you and I'm like, I'm looking at all the it's just terrible LED lights, shiny, just everything's bright. There's just infinity like the amount of items that are in there. Like if you had to go through and like identify and read one sentence on all of them, there's too many things inside just one convenience store. And what I think you were picking one of these out, and like the epiphany was that like it just felt like a fever dream.
Yes, like they're probably what always gets me is the variety of Cheetos. It's like every variation of Cheetos is some variation of the Mandela effect. Just like a little bit tweaked. You're like, wasn't I just looking at a box of those? But yeah, the whole place is uncanny. I mean, I think it's like a mecca for synthetic goods and food.
Well, I mean, I've one of the things I've always said is like if you're going to buy anything, especially food or beverage related to the gas station, all you're getting is drugs. It is only hard drugs, like medium to hard drugs, because all it is sugar, and sometimes it's not even sugar, it's fake sugar, but it does the same fucking thing to the brain, and then a smorgasbord of chemicals that just ignite all of the synapses in your brain in a strange way, and the nutritional value is just in the fucking toilet. It's like saying that like doing cocaine is good for you because like it's like an essential nervous system exciter. It's like, okay, sure, if you need to focus on getting something done very quickly and powerfully, yeah, cocaine is good for you, but any other circumstance you're doing drugs.
Totally. And I always loved the Indian guy behind the counter, like the drug kingpin, if you will. He's always like, "Hi, boss man." Yeah, this store smelled like there was a rotting corpse. I mean, the trenches of World War One, and he's like, "Yeah, I remarked on the smell." He's like, "You smell that too?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I smell that too."
Well, I laughed when you remarked on it because I was just expecting the brown Indian man to have no idea it smelled at all. So when I was actually more shocked when he's like, "Yes, I know it smells very bad."
You know that guy. You know if it's coming up on that guy's radar. We got a
We have a dead body somewhere. Now it might not be human, but something's rotting.
yes,
Um,
hanging from butcher's hooks in the cooler.
oh, it's just his halal meat
Yeah.
that is spoiled and he didn't realize.
The guy was working the shift before him.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But so I looked at you and I'm like, dude, this is, I feel like just stepping into any Shell gas station convenience store would be more powerful of a mind melting experience than any sort of psychedelic experience anybody prior to 200 years ago could ever possibly have.
Mm-hmm.
The it's almost cartoonishly strange and surreal when you kind of zoom out.
It's the stuff of fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like in The Lightning Thief when he goes into that casino and loses track of time. It's like if I were a fiction writer, I would think of something in a dystopian world where there are like these stations that sell petroleum-based products for your vehicle.
Fuel for your horseless carriage.
Yeah, and then all this bullshit on the shelves that makes you dumber and just hungrier and fatter. Like,
Also masquerading as like these are just normal things. Because what we looked around a little bit. First of all, the fridges
mm-hmm,
with all of the drinks, the
mm-hmm.
amount of colors and the right, like, I'm sure someone from long enough ago would be like, these are all demonic. They would know what they are immediately because
Yeah.
like
Start casting demons.
they're demonic potions.
Yeah.
Like you know the Monster Energy thing where like it has like it's technically 666
Mm-hmm.
on it. Like
Liquid Death.
Yeah, Liquid Death. And Dr. Masaru Emoto, one of my favorite Japanese people, did all these experiments where they put
One of my favorite Japanese people.
well, Miyamoto Musashi is up there too.
Yeah.
And Hirohito, who was he the emperor during
Yeah.
World War II? Yeah, top 3 Japanese.
So
Jackie Chan's
Mary fuck kill.
I know Jackie Chan's Chinese. That was a joke. But yeah, the words and symbols have affect the structure of the liquid in the water. They were, you freeze something that says love, it looks nice. When you freeze something that says death, it looks gross. So someone from the 1700s was like, "What are these awful potions? This is a witchery."
Some like a weird apothecary. Neon lights. Like, the craziest thing is we have convinced ourselves that it's in some way a treat or a privilege.
And normal.
Yeah, normal.
And then also, I mean, forget just what's in the aisles, like the fucking Easy Mac and we saw just like small light bulbs for Christmas, like random incandescent Christmas tree sized light bulbs, which incandescent bulbs are apparently, that's a whole nother thing we can get into. But yeah, then you have a container of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, deep freezer. You have cords. You have fucking bars of soap. You have all of this shit is also so bad for you. The soap is made out of like industrial detergent and fucking dyes. The every piece of electronics vibrates at a fucking electromagnetic frequency that's slowly or quickly giving you cancer. It's like, and then you have vapes.
Yes.
Just a demon machine that is poisoning you with Chinese chemicals that make you go.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I think a great reality show would be like taking maybe some boutique hoteliers and making them run their whole hotels using convenience stores from here.
Oh my god, kind of like a weird John Wick.
Yeah, the Japanese TV show runners probably already have a version of this. But like, you can only serve Cheetos or these weird drinks. You have a very constricted aperture of soaps you can offer, and then it's like, then you have condoms and like the intimacy, and then it's the time of year where they have a couple weird winter garments that are just sort of strewn about.
Oh yeah, what they had the beanies?
Yeah,
that are fully acrylic, by the way.
Right.
Just literally melted plastic bottles.
Yeah, dude, you hold those up to a source of heat, and it just it dissolves. I mean, you gotta call the fire department if you get too close to a light.
That's also another fucking crazy thing is that a lot of I try my very best to keep most of my clothes natural fiber and the cotton as possible because most people are walking around wearing shit where if it gets a little too hot, all of the shit they're wearing starts melting.
Sticking to their skin.
Like it's like you don't need napalm anymore, you just need to get it hot enough.
Get everyone wearing aloe or Lululemon.
Is it true that the founder of Lululemon was like a little bit racist and made the name Lululemon because he thought of how funny it would be for Asian people to try to pronounce it and call it Ruru Remen?
That is some deep esoteric knowledge.
Do you know? Like I obviously don't
have heard that.
Okay, so I've heard it as well. This is alleged. We're going to say allegedly the founder of Lululemon.
The podcast should be called Allegedly.
Yeah, fuck it. Instead of irreality, it should be called allegedly. Maybe working title. Okay, we're this is a working title. Allegedly is great though. But yeah, so uh, in addition to the Shell convenience store stuff, we got on the topic of LED lights.
Yes.
And then I came over here and immediately bragged to you that all of the light bulbs in my home are either halogen or incandescent.
Yeah, you looked. It was like one of those autistic guys who you give him like a day of the week in a year, and he's like, "Oh, it was raining, and the Red Sox played the White Sox that day. Went to the eighth inning. It was a show and tell of like this one's halogen, and this one's incandescent. It's actually I respected it because you're right. We were discussing that. Well, you came upon these old style filament light bulbs that were in shell, and you were like, "Gosh, they don't sell these anymore. Like these are kind of rare." And I have a pedestrian understanding of this, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean they've completely phased all those out in favor of LED. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Fill in a little bit about what we were talking about the LED.
So interestingly enough, technically incandescent bulbs are still allowed to be made, but there's like this fucked up like federal law, and it's like really hard. It's one of those things where it's like very very bureaucratically ingrained into you know federal national law, where there's like only a certain. It's for like efficiency and like the save the planet bullshit, but there's only a certain amount of power that incandescent bulbs are allowed to consume. Therefore, that's why like like you can only get a light bulb that's so bright because of these quote unquote efficiency standards. But I remember when I first learned about why LED lights, like I'm sure people know about like the blue light stuff, but there's a more sinister thing about LED bulbs, which is this flicker rate, which a lot of people don't know or don't understand. It's because it's imperceptible to the human eye. But I remember when iPhones first started having the ability to do slow motion video. I remember shortly after that was when LED light bulbs really started becoming more ubiquitous. And I remember like being confused at first when I would start taking slow motion videos sometimes in rooms at night.
I remember being confused when I started having seizures, epileptic seizures.
Well, yeah, because they're blinking at a rate that you're basically like in a hellish nightclub with a strobe light, but your brain doesn't consciously realize it. But I remember like seeing the slow motion videos play back, and like it looked like there was like it was like flashing, or it was weird. I was like, is this something wrong with the screen? It took me a while to connect that it's because most of these bulbs are pretty poorly manufactured. Like you can make LED light bulbs that don't have flicker. And there's an argument to be made that like you also kind of want the near infrared. There's like you can get really really schizo with a lot of this shit, but with incandescence, it's just a smooth light. So people don't realize that like this flicker rate is like screwing with their brain. Like you're in like a demon techno club all day because most of the lights you're experiencing have this flicker rate to them. So it's one of those things where I've been very terminally online and like optimizing my health in as many ways as possible. And it is nice actually. Like I mean, as far as like the color temperature, like we're towards the end of the day, and all the lights that are on besides one is incandescent. Do you notice a like a difference in the feel being away from flicker rate lights for the first time probably in a really long time?
Yes. Let's see. I feel a little taller, so I feel like I stand up a little taller.
Okay.
No, but in all seriousness, I can look at these incandescent bulbs, and there aren't like alarm bells going off my body. Like when you look at an LED, it sort of hurts.
Yeah.
A little bit. There's something like inherently unnatural about it. Obviously, we know like the blue light with the LEDs is crazy. There was some weird video I have to dig up of these guys were looking at street lamps and how we've made the switch from regular incandescent street lamps to LEDs.
Oh yeah, another.
But the power draw of these street lamps is way more than they would normally need just to light the diode.
Probably it's more than we would need for a non LED.
That too, but to suggest that there's some sort of frequency weapon.
Oh.
Not
Well, I actually, that's funny you mention that because I remember there being some weird theory, and it's like, why do they even do this? But someone was pointing out how, I don't know if you've noticed this, it gives me goosebumps because I've driven down entire sections of highway here in Connecticut where supposedly when these LED light bulbs, which are supposed to have like a way longer lifespan and be way more efficient, the entire stretch of highway was like this. It was almost like a black light. It's this weird purplish color, and apparently they're supposed to change this color when they're close to the end of their life. But it's like a lot of these are supposed to have decades long lifespans. So why then are they changing to this very eerie, almost sinister, spooky color of like blacklight esque purple? I don't remember
it's the
exactly.
LED death rattle.
But I drove down this, it was like almost 2 miles, and all of them were like this weird purplish hue. And I don't have any more info on this, but I just remember that someone was saying like that's not really like an indicator. That's like something that has to do with like signaling 5G mind control. I don't know exactly what, but essentially it's like you said, they're drawing this power because they could have,
well, that's very haunted.
weaponized.
Yeah, that's the purple light is very haunted house-esque, and our world is turning into one giant haunted house. So it's actually kind of fitting that we're like lighting the streets with purple. Yeah. I think we got to get some big inflatables on the highways, some ghouls, ghosts, and goblins.
Whacking arm inflatable tube man.
Yeah. Welcome to hell.
Well, that's another weird thing too, because blue light obviously we know is like not great as far as the artificial blue light, but also what's the next? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo is the next frequency above blue. I'm sure. I mean, purple is considered like a royal color, as if like when clothes are dyed that color because it was rare. But what really in nature makes or emits purple or violet light? Pretty much nothing except for
some flower.
What emits? What's one of the only thing in nature that emits like a violet or purplish light? Lightning or electricity.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, the only time, like, blue light obviously is like, you get blue light from the sky and that's it. So, artificially, like, unless you have something super heated, you're not getting the color blue as just a regular frequency. And then what is like electricity charged in the air? That's like a very violent and destructive force. So I wonder, some more further research needs to be done as to like brain signaling.
This is what gives Hillary Clinton her life force energy. She just bathes in indigo light.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then roams the woods of upstate New York.
It gives a whole new meaning to indigo children, which apparently, it was. I've had people suggest. I'm sure you were probably a indigo child as well. We didn't mention this as a topic, but the gate shit. The
gateway program.
Yeah.
The GATE program. We could table that for an episode. But yeah, that's some good stuff right there.
But adjacent to that, I brought up with you. I was telling you about one of my favorite quotes from an FBI file, and linking it to you. You stumbled upon something really cool, and it links to something that. Well, I guess we can start with the quote. So this is from the Federal Bureau of Investigation Freedom of Information / Privacy Act section cover sheet, subject extrasensory perception. Now I'll start with the quote. The quote itself is, he merely states that a person can do what he makes up his mind to do. That is a beautiful, very simple set of words that I really, really love. But the context of this is buck wild. This is in 1957. And we have Mr. Foos, resident of Richmond, Virginia, is a high school graduate employed in a minor capacity with the C&O Railway. About 2 years ago, he became interested in extrasensory perception, a term probably technically inaccurate, and began experimenting with members of his family. He claims to have achieved amazing success. In recent weeks, has received considerable amount of publicity in the Richmond area. And there's a redacted section. He's holding a number of exhibitions locally in an apparent attempt to create interest in his ability to teach the blind to see. He has appeared at Duke University, where experiments have long been conducted on the power of extrasensory perception, and various government agencies, including the Veterans Administration, are very much interested. Very simply, Foos claims the ability to teach the blind to see in 6 months, to teach a person without eyes to see sufficiently well to drive an automobile safely. He disclaims any supernatural power, and not being a scientist or a physician has no technical or scientific explanation. He merely states that a person can do what he makes up his mind to do. He claims to have taught not only members of his own family, but approximately 25 other individuals as well, including persons completely blind to see with 100% efficiency. To illustrate his ability, his daughter, Margaret Foos, about 16 to 17 years of age, was blindfolded by the observers with pads and an elastic band, thereafter reading, distinguishing color, and moving about the room with complete ease. Now, I think that's a good lead into what you brought up, which was
The mindfold. I just want to say quickly,
Yeah.
you tell the wrong guy in 1957 you can do whatever you set your mind to. He's down in a bottle of Quaaludes and going to fight a police officer at the grocery store. You gotta be careful. Right? All the over-the-counter
Oh my God.
goodies. Yeah, I thought this was really interesting. I think early on, we've known each other for some time now,
Yeah.
but we've connected on some of this esoteric stuff. And one of the things or a piece of literature you brought up was reality transurfing,
Yeah.
which you have right there.
So, Vadim Zeeland, his sort of theory, reality transurfing, has been around for a while. If I'm not mistaken, he was actually like some sort of a physicist for Soviet Russia, and then the Soviet Union, and then later in post-Soviet Russia. And he, with that background, had some sort of epiphany, a set of dreams, and created this reality transurfing. The original book is huge. It's like, almost 1,000 pages. This is Transurfing in 78 Days, and every day there's a principle and an interpretation. And I was like skimming through this earlier today, and number 52 is what's called the Gatekeeper to Eternity, which wraps into this very, very interestingly. So the principle is, he talks about something called the variant space, where any possible reality literally exists, and transurfing essentially is a system of taking steps to realize any possible reality in the variant space. It is completely achievable, and all you basically have to do is sort of set intention versus desire. Intend to do something, and then there's techniques to kind of, there's things that'll get in the way, pendulums, etc. The universe will try to stop you up. It's the nature of the universe, but you are more powerful than that, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and just to add on to that, it's a great summary. When I started reading the longer one, and the variant space, or alternative space he calls, is where every possibility of every event exists simultaneously.
Correct.
And the nature of moving through life is basically using your thoughts and intentions to collapse those possibilities into what he calls your lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
Your lifeline, sort of like the path of your life, which is not. Here's the whole interesting thing about reality transurfing, though. No matter how far down one lifeline you get, it's not immutable,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
You're not locked into something in terms of fate.
So he actually is a proponent that fate is not necessarily, you're not locked in. This concept of, like, for example, the Buddha. This is a really interesting one, because the lore on him is that he had two possible fates. He was either going to be a great conqueror and a great warrior, or he was going to be a spiritual teacher that changed the world. And his father fucked up, because he was like, I need to make him the great warrior. And in so doing, he literally spoiled him to the point of enlightenment. And then he created the opposite of what he wanted, which is funny, because in transurfing, excess potential and putting importance on something will get you the opposite. I've actually never thought of this until right now. So his father put importance on him being the conqueror, and put excess potential on him being the conqueror, and the balancing forces of the universe swung the pendulum in the opposite direction and created the Buddha.
It's like, got to get to homeostasis and somehow resolve that excess
Correct
energetic potential.
It's all about sort of resolving it's balance. That's why one of my favorite concepts in Star Wars is very fringe. The concept of the gray Jedi. They're like the Jedi's that'll do the shitty stuff. They'll like essentially. They will, they'll do the stuff that the high Jedi won't do. They'll
Traffic children
intergalactically.
intergalactically.
But yeah, the Jedi are good, the Sith are bad, and the gray Jedi help maintain balance. But this principle is really interesting because it's called the gatekeeper to eternity, and it's pretty quick. It's the variant space contains everything, and everything that you desire with your heart and mind is yours. You should know, however, that at the threshold of eternity there stands a gatekeeper, an absolute law which guards access to everything beyond. The unremitting guardian only admits those who have the audacity to exercise the right of master. Your pass is the verdict. I am capable and worthy because I have decided it is so. I don't want, and I don't hope, I intend. Claim this right, and the gatekeeper will throw open the gates to eternity. So, if I may, I'm going to go into the interpretation a little bit too, because it falls in so nicely with this quote from this gentleman from the 50s in the FBI file. But what makes a showbiz star different from the girls next door? A luminary of science different to the timid student, and the chosen one different from the rank and file. The answer is one single step. There are those who have been bold enough to claim their right, and there are others who are still procrastinating and do not believe that they are capable or worthy. The firm conviction holds in the mind of the timid that the chosen ones exist because all the rest have chosen them on account of their having some exceptionality or outstanding quality. In reality, this is a false stereotype. The chosen ones choose themselves. It is only after taking this step, and because of it, that the others notice them. Claim the right to be a chosen one. Say to yourself, from this moment on, I choose myself. It is not that you have the right because you are worthy and capable. You have it, the right, as a matter of course. The variant space contains everything, including something that is intended for you personally. Your verdict, that you have this right, this is your pass to eternity. It sanctions the privilege to create your own reality. So it's just funny because I think I mentioned, like, in the 50s, Zealand was either a kid or maybe not even born. I know he's like, maybe boomer or older Gen X. I've seen pictures. It's also, he's a very mysterious man. There's not a lot out there. There's very little media.
That's actually perfect.
It is.
Dude, if I was him, I would just, my only dress wear would be sort of a long robe. Photographed a couple times with like maybe his staff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you either that or it's the exact same suit every single time.
Yeah. Same haircut, same loose hairs. Like, is this guy even real? Sorry, you were gonna share a little bit on that?
Well, I wanted to, first of all, like, that's just, it's so simple, it's brilliant, and it's just wild how it's basically echoing the same sentiment. And clearly this guy, not having known about transurfing, was doing just that. He was just intending. He was basically saying it's about intention. And
I think critically, belief.
Yes.
In that. As we'll talk about with the mindful thing I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So much of what inhibits us from being able to access that alternative space and collapse some of those elements into our lifeline are limiting beliefs.
Exactly.
I am actually not deserving or worthy of this sort of success, or for revealing my unadulterated self to the world.
Yeah. Well, because we were talking about the ICU Academy, which, tell me a little bit more about that, because you're the one who brought it to my attention, and I wish we could get a clip up. We're brand new, so
we can probably edit in a clip.
Yeah, we might. This is where a clip happens.
This is where we get on a government watch.
What do you mean, get? I get on another one.
Another one.
They create a new one for the two of us.
Gold star.
Yeah, we now have a new FBI agent that is tracking our movements that has just been assigned today.
I'd like to welcome him in.
Hi, Julia.
Yeah.
It's a girl. We're not that big of a threat.
Right. So this whole idea of mind over matter, really, the conversation we were having, I was inspired to retrieve this clip I had found online of the ICU, which is the Inspiring
Children University.
University, where it is this montage of clips, and we will show it sometime during this discussion and pause. But sometime
maybe
it's out there.
maybe we can get a couple audio clips and we can just play some of just the clips like just for the visual only as we're talking about this because it's fucking crazy.
Insane. So it's these kids. In this particular situation, they have learning disabilities. They're blind. I think that's learning disability might be a little bit of a fluffy word.
Developmentally challenged.
Yeah.
Blind kids.
Yeah. People whose eyes don't work.
Yeah.
And they are literally with these mindfolds on. They're called mindfolds. And they have an instructor who goes through flashcards and will show them like a graphic of a red apple. And the kids, like looking in a different direction, will just be like, oh, that's a red apple. They're all like UK British kids.
A farmer teaches children to play games.
Where's the green? Point to the green for me. Good girl. Well done.
Read books.
Harry, can you read me a sentence from your book?
Aliens love underpants.
Fabulous.
And write. All while blindfolded. It's gonna be one word.
Light.
That was so fast.
They do this like trials course where they're they almost look like they're LARPing like a horse over like these poles and around these like keyholing through these stood up poles. And the whole basis of this learning is that when you can shut off the reliance on the eyes, the visual senses, you can still leverage your brain to tap into non-local perception. Which at some point I think we ought to get into remote viewing and astral projection, but that's exactly what this is. The ESP stuff that the government is very interested in is all about retrieving non-local data.
Yeah.
Being able to sit in a base in Quantico and transport yourself or retrieve consciously information from a Soviet nuclear installation.
Which is fucking wild because it's completely admitted of multiple regimes. Russians, United States, China, that they have been not only pumping money into this, but like this is an active program that they maintain. They literally not only now have entire remote viewing units, but they have also had to create units for essentially counterintelligence against like remote viewers from hostile nations because they realize like, oh wait, we can just look inside and see what's going on in Putin's cabinet room. They can do that to us. So then they had to try to figure out how to create basically psionic bouncers that literally prevent outside remote viewers from viewing us. So there's we literally have like psychic units that are trained for offense and defense, and it's one of those things where there's so much out in the open now. I think for a while it seemed like the government was worried about disclosure freaking out the masses and mass hysteria. I think this solution
was around the advent of the free internet.
Yeah, I think the solution that they realized is just flood it. Like literally give them all the information, and now with AI, you don't even know what's unless if you're a boomer, you don't know what's up from down as far as like AI videos.
They're like, look over here, Brigitte Macron's got a dick. Don't look too hard into that.
Oh, look at this video of a dolphin bouncing on a trampoline. That's real.
Right.
But yeah, it's so intense to think about that literally somewhere in DC there's people going in and out of an office every day who are part of the remote viewing team.
Dude, absolutely. And this all ties back into Eastern knowledge around, like, there are these stories of the monks in the mountains of Tibet, and their Merkabas, or light bodies, are witnessed by people down in the village. There's speculation that, not to get heretical, but that this might be an explanation for Jesus's resurrection.
Whoa.
Is that in some form that was his Merkaba or light body.
And perhaps he was able to condense it down to the physical form because he was so adept. Because I remember one of the doubting Thomas, where he was like, "This isn't you." He's like, "Well, put your hand in the wound, bro.
Touch my dick, bro. Touch my dick."
He's like, "If you don't believe me, I mean, there's a hole here that you watched where they put the Spear of Destiny. Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Don't
sniff it afterwards while I'm still watching." But yeah, the other part too, I remember they mentioned about the blindfolds is that they're special to where they don't put any pressure on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was important where it was able to maintain the sense and the freedom of the movement
Mm-hmm.
of the ocular muscles in the eyes
Mm-hmm.
without impeding it. So something about it, there has to be something about like using the visual parts of your brain and basically, making sure that that part of your, because if I'm gonna move my hand, if something is in the way of my finger, like even if I want to go move the finger, my brain is going to register something's in the way. So that's a very it's very interesting that they pointed out that they have this special technology for the blind.
I totally agree, and I think I mean there may even be a simple explanation. It's distracting if your eyes are having pressure, or I mean the way a lot of ritual or witchcraft works is you create a temple with associations of sight, smells, colors to sort of guide your subconscious, and I think this being sort of an exercise of the subconscious or the quantum field or the oversoul, uh, being unburdened,
Love that term,
right?
oversoul.
Being able to direct those efforts, even though you're not actually maybe seeing through your eyes, having use of that, I think, as what you said, is important in associating whatever activity is going on with the act of seeing
and
or
while pulling that other information, because dropping an ocean in the drop, like we're not separate from nature, we're not separate from the universe. It feels like we're this thing. Right, you are technically. I can jump up and down. I'm not combined with the floor, not combined with the walls. But at the same time, when I look at a fucking star, I'm in the same universe. Whenever this all started, at a certain point, like if you believe in Big Bang or whatever, everything was kind of the quantum entanglement sort of works because everything at one time was combined. So the separateness is an illusion. And technically, it's not even technically, just by the act of perceiving it, you're in a way at one with that star that's however many light years away. And I'm sure the more local you are to the matter, it's like, oh, we were all like this. I'm part of this. I'm swimming in this ocean. All I need to do is be like, okay, my consciousness isn't just in here. I can close my eyes and be like, okay. The window, like I know my window is over there, but like you can even do this to an extent by just closing your eyes in a well lit room. You still have that, like I'm getting goosebumps because doing it right now, that's actually wild. There's a residual image that kind of sits there, and that you can almost like turn and be like, okay, I know where everything is. By extension, that's kind of how this works. Is you're not just relying on the visual data. You're like, oh, I'm kind of a part of this. Like, I should be able to know where everything is since we're all part of the same whatever this is. With the fact that they have kids jumping around obstacle courses and dodging things, and like this, like the one with the hand where he had like colored squares, and the kids like yellow, red, blue,
one
green,
flashcard after another,
like rapid fire. And I'm like, that is just fucking crazy.
You know where my head goes to is like counting cards in a casino. Can I see under the dealer's hand?
I wonder if there have been people who have been card counters, caught or not, that weren't even counting cards. They just knew this one neat trick that casinos hate.
Yeah,
there's probably a non-zero probability that there have been psionic card counters who have
totally. But I bet too, because all this stuff is basically just different mutated forms of energy, right? And you were talking earlier about countering some of this ESP stuff, like counterintelligence.
Yes, yeah.
In addition to having astral plane or this sort of psychic plane bouncers, they probably also distort the energy fields with something.
Correct.
I have a feeling that casinos are probably already using some sort of advanced frequency technology to induce more stress or anxiety in people.
Well, we were talking about Wilhelm Reich. I have orgonite in my house. So orgonite is this. This is an orgonite pendant. You turn it around. The concept behind this is kind of wild. This is a terminated quartz crystal. So with quartz, it has.
The guy in Pawn Stars like, I give you $5.
So There's something called the piezoelectric effect. The reason a quartz watch works is because when pressure is applied to a quartz crystal, there's a little bit of electricity or electromagnetic excitation that occurs. So someone figured out, based off of the work of Wilhelm Reich, who we'll get into, Mr. Cloudbuster, that this is, they usually use resin, which is organic, and
Sorry about that. We had a little audio disruption.
yes, technical difficulties probably due to organite. But yeah, so it's a very rudimentary, very simple technology essentially, and it's basically just resin plus metal shavings plus crystal, and that has a positive effect on your electromagnetic environment. So the reason this was brought up is because I'm sure if we extrapolate out that if this literal simple tech that anyone can make exists, that governments not only, employ counterintelligence as far as people, but also have devices to distort
Information fields.
yeah
basically.
and energy and whatever, however that data is parsed through by potential hostile psionic agents.
I think when Einstein talked about spooky action at a distance, it was really just the government giving people boners from like 50 meters away.
Is that what was happening in high school?
Yeah,
They were
right.
testing out 5G.
Yeah, just we get a whole bunch of victims to testify.
I got a boner during wrestling at gym class with a guy, and it was the government trying to psyop me into thinking I was gay.
Yeah. We're gonna give you an out, man. You just have to sit in front of the camera for us.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty sweet. The orgonite, and I think we could dedicate a lot, man, to
Oh man.
frequency and
Energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla.
seriously.
I mean, I have a whole fucking bookshelf over each book of that is like a year's worth of podcast episodes. I'm looking at Tesla's face on, like, he's literally looking at us right now.
Yeah, I see you.
Now, if we want to wrap this up with a little bit of, we've put on a serious hat for a while. We've had a silly goose time in between. What were we talking about?
There was a business idea, so I think one of the things we noticed was now that the guys like Epstein have been rounded up, from where we sit, what we believe we're dealing with is an excess of children
Yeah.
who are really out of work, not being employed. The coal mines aren't really a thing anymore. And so the idea was that at the same time we have this phenomena of adults who like to go to Disney.
The for lack of a better term, Disney adults.
Which is in and of itself a very shameful thing. And so the value proposition would be to set up almost an agency outside of the theme parks in Orlando and say to these adults consumed by shame for their love of something that really should just be reserved for children, we will rent you a child for a day, formerly trafficked child for a day, so you can enter the theme park with a kid holding your hand who will also call you mom and dad.
Like, yeah, I mean, the thing is that they're already, this is light work for them because they're used to just constant trauma and a hellish life. So, I think this is probably like almost like a charity because essentially we're kind of undoing some of the harm.
Spot on. It's actually the perfect business model.
And it gives childless adults a little bit of a dampener on the shame of entering Disney without children of their own, and it gives a kid who has had a rough life, a rough childhood, a way to go see Disney, and they're used to pretending that they're into things. So calling someone mom and dad that's not their own mom and dad,
Not a big leap.
is that's light work.
And we get all our flowers on a national stage for breathing new life into the lives of these
Absolutely.
children.
And who knows, it could even increase the birth rates because, you have, if the children are going to be probably pretty well behaved under the circumstances. So then you'll have I'm hoping that these are couples. I think there needs to be a rule that a single adult cannot rent a child to bring to
A
Disney
single
World.
male.
Well, hold on. Let's not be sexist. there's plenty of school teachers that are having sex with young boys that are
True.
female.
This is true.
So I think any adult traveling with the children by themselves needs to be scrutinized.
True. Now, I suppose my question is: should there be sort of a menu of children?
Holy shit!
Hold on. No, dude, we're just talking about going to Disney. But I'm just saying, it's not going to make sense for an Asian.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I see where you're going with this.
The kid, in terms of temperament and maybe physical appearance, if we could match on the
We
basis
weren't
of
on the
that.
list before we are now. A menu of children. Good luck monetizing this shit.
Yeah.
Maybe this one will not be on
Interested
the
in
full
sponsoring?
archive.
Drop a comment and tell us if you think we should make a menu for kids.
Oh my gosh.
But I do think, okay, maybe without the menu, but the point you
pairing
raised-
algorithm. That's worse.
It's
That's
just,
worse.
it's just amazing how you can desexualize things and sort of button it up by just being like, and now, well, it would be, it'd be algorithmically wrong, of course. like when Wayfair was trafficking children,
fuck.
disguised as kitchen cabinets. Like, they get busted. They're just, well, it was algorithmically paired. Like, it just totally takes the onus off of you.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
it was the algorithms.
Mm.
But anyways, I think the point you raised about there being two sides to this market, children in deep need of healing, and shame-ridden adults who really have no business going to Disney
Yeah.
by themselves, to allow them to enter under the veneer of a healthy nuclear family.
I think where I was going with that is like maybe it'll encourage some of these couples to be like, oh, we should probably make one of these so we can come back.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the birth rate might explode. I
Yeah.
do think in the same way the parks offer Fast Pass for cutting the lines,
Mm-hmm.
we should offer a algorithmic matchmaking service where your ride preferences will be paired with the kid.
I got a completely different idea. I like that, but when you said that, I'm like, maybe, if you're in a park without a child under the age of 18, your group gets deprioritized for everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. They should not be letting in childless couples in the Disney World.
Because I remember you. I don't know if we should talk about why we've got on the topic of Disney adults. I'll let you broach that if you want to. But in response to that, it's not bad. Don't worry. This actually, me desensitizing that makes it seem like he's,
Yeah.
where it's. I'm going to stop. It's already
I went on a date with Disney adult.
okay. Cool. There we go. Who was a Disney adult?
Yes.
But I was bringing up how the time I went to Disney as an adult, I was involved in a relationship with a woman who was had a 3-year-old. So I went there. It was fun. It was cool, but like it didn't feel weird because I was also there because of a little boy. So we were mom and stepdad bring child to Disney. It's because I remember going as a kid, it was cool, and then being there as an adult, I'm like, okay, it really would feel a little bit icked the fuck out the whole time if it was just me and her. I would have been like,
Creepy.
yeah,
Like I'm in a children's space.
it felt perfectly fine being there with her son. If it was just me and her, I'm getting like goosebumps thinking about. I can't even imagine now. I would have to be doing it. Here's the only reason. You have to be doing it for a really attractive girl you're dating. As a man, it's either you go with a kid or you have a way too hot girlfriend that you need to bring there. Those are the only circumstances where, as an adult, you can be there. Just being there as like two people who are so into it. Help me. And these people can vote.
Not only they can vote, but really they probably won't if they were to scoop up one of those condos on Disney's property, which is actually it's like this weird regulatory plot of land.
That's right.
Where Disney's like the mayor, the local
Yes.
police, So you never have to vote. Actually, if you
It's
get a
actually,
condo at Disney.
that would be a good topic. Like very strange zoning laws that we actually technically have, like crypto sovereign states, like within countries. Um, yeah, Disney has all sorts of very strange rules that apply to them that literally don't apply to any other company. Like the stuff with the intellectual property, where they were trying so hard to basically not let any of their stuff go into the public domain since it's approaching like 100 years old, or whatever, maybe 75. I don't know what but like public domain basically means intellectual property is protected, I think, for a certain period of time, and then once it hits a certain age, anyone can use that likeness without having to pay for or have the original creator have control over what they're doing for creative use. And I think somehow Disney had already gotten some sort of extension, and then that expired fairly recently. But it's just got kind of trickle drip drop, because the only likeness of Mickey that went in the public domain was like the boat captain Mickey from like the very, very early stuff. But yeah, it's like Disney's so powerful.
We should make T-shirts with that.
We should.
Yeah, just defame Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, a potential logo idea.
On our way to Epstein Island.
Oh my god! Boat Captain Mickey and the Epstein Express. With AI, we could probably make a series.
Yeah, for sure.
Boat Captain Mickey and the Epstein Express. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I think we had anything else you want to touch on that?
I think I don't like the way you said that. Touch on that, but nothing at all. I think we should move on.
Well, I think our last two topics, we were talking about when Dictators had some cachet.
Yes.
Which you could do a year's worth of podcasts on this.
Yeah, we need to bring back, like, because I mean, the only one we really have, like Putin and Trump, they got swagger. They're like fucking a strong force. But I mean, come on, Kim Jong Un, dude, you look like an inflatable child. We need dictators that like have, because Gaddafi is like one of the
all
most
virgin
recent.
women.
But like even the drip, the dictator drip, like he had the fucking like the shoulder like ornamentation and all of the fucking military. But there's no way he did that much in the military.
No.
But I love over-badged military uniforms.
Sure.
It's so incredible.
It's all like dictatorial countries. These guys are like covered in ribbons. Like, it's just like
it's almost feminine.
The only war,
like a pageant winner.
The only war you fought is like killing shopkeepers in your capital city.
Yeah, I really had to struggle to shoot this poor old man in the head this morning.
Yeah.
Defenseless. Oh, good. No, the shop is mine.
You're right. Here's another 6 lines of ribbon for you. Very funny.
Should we cut off food to this entire section of the Soviet Union?
Medal for valor and bravery.
Medal for valor for just keeping the trucks parked.
Yeah. So good. I think some other ones were, I mean, a lot of the African dictators.
Some of them still are swagged up.
Very much so.
I can't name any off the top of my head.
The head of Burkina Faso, who's actually like, he is genuinely fighting for his people and trying to disentangle the African Northwest from like French imperialism. He's got a lot of cachet. He's one of the guys who wears the military fatigues.
Yeah.
Always looks like he's stepping just right off the battlefield. Like you've sort of inconvenienced him.
That's another one too. Like the president or the dictator or the head of the state that's always in military uniform too.
Ready to go.
Literally camouflage.
Yeah. Ready to go. You know, Zelensky sort of he did
that for a little bit, but it was so lame. And
he's such an empty suit.
Yeah. It was so limp-wristed.
So yeah, because
which is funny because he's also
Trudeau.
Remember he was literally in a gay music video in high heels. Like Trudeau, you can say like, oh, he's kind of behaves kind of queer. They didn't have a literal like all the single ladies music video Beyonce style of Trudeau in high heels. That's wild that he maintained any legitimacy after
in an
that
Eastern European, you would think conservative country, but also Ukraine, like consistently ranked on indexes as like one of the most corrupt countries. then we start funneling them military money, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's like we gotta save our democratic allies.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what wasn't one of the initial scandals like with the Biden administration, like corruption in Ukraine,
Mhm.
far before any of this even happened?
State like
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe just like mouth breathing into that phone, like I'm gonna topple all of you if you don't if you don't if you don't resign, like the statesman.
Gosh.
Yeah, we'd like to see more of that, though. I think
Yeah.
one of my wishes for the year 2025 is yes a dictator, and yes a dictator with more cachet, but one in America's backyard,
Yeah.
Mexico, the Caribbean.
Well, we kind of already have one. I would say that Bukele
True.
in
El
El
Salvador.
Salvador is kind of right there. 'Cause do you know?
Yes.
Didn't he just get voted like president for life?
Did he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they just removed term limits,
Mhm.
and he actually has some incredible drip,
Mhm.
and he has completely cleaned that place up.
Mhm.
So like the benevolent dictator swagger core for the
True.
Zoomers.
We can get a PDF diagram at some point, link in bio, or like a T-shirt with all the different variations of unreal dictators. I do like. I mean, one of my personal favorites is the dictator who, what he lacks in military capacity to thwart off someone like the United States, he makes up for in righteousness and being like, we're getting off the petrodollar with just no guns. Like that guy's days are numbered. Like,
That's like the peak. You're not shooting yourself in the foot. You're nailing your feet to the ground.
yes, yeah. You're like, that's when we start checking our watches.
Yeah.
It's like it's a number. It's a matter of sunsets.
Yeah.
Before the CIA, jackals land on your shores to sort of shake up some regime change, or all of a sudden there's a big
that was in downfall of Gaddafi.
for sure. We got the people to stick a flagpole up his butt.
Oh, jeez.
Like you say that, you not only are your days numbered, but something like a flagpole is going to be stuck up his butt. Just as an
And it's not
ultimate
one
fuck
with the
you.
nice, like, round nubs. It's one with the spread
Mhm.
eagle with the pointed wings.
Oh yeah, America.
Yeah, it's an American flagpole.
Very true. Oh, well, this has been great. I mean, one of my final thoughts, I'd be curious if you have any. What we did talk at the top or before we started recording about an edict or law we'd like
Okay.
to see passed. One that came to me when we were discussing the Disney adults
Yeah.
is if you've gone to Disney World with just another adult or by yourself and you are,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, because I can excuse a college kid, let's say 22 or older,
Yeah.
you have to wear a pair of Disney ears, like a scarlet letter, in your normal everyday life
Oh my god.
that are like easily identifiable, very large,
Kind of like a
oversized.
gold star?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Oh
the
gosh.
Disney ghettos.
Yeah. But so also this would be ruthlessly enforced, right?
Ruthlessly.
So these
Like,
laws would be like enforced
if you're caught without your Mickey ears, you will be
gulag.
gulag or drawn and quartered.
Mm.
I think you bring back something a little more medieval.
Stockade.
Yes.
We actually, every town square is going to have the fucking. We should just bring that back regardless. I think that's so funny that they used to just put people who fucked up and be like, yeah, that guy, yeah, he needs to learn his lesson.
Mhm.
And everybody just laughed at him for a little while. I'm trying to think of a
That'd be pretty good though. Even stockade
Yeah.
is one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but not for breaking laws, for talking on your cell phone
Mhm.
on speaker.
Mhm.
Or actually, that's fine. But yeah, on public transport, talking in front on speaker because there are, there's a way to do it that's chill.
Mhm.
I'd say playing fucking phone games with the volume turned up
Mhm.
without headphones. You're going to the stockade.
Mhm.
You're anybody who's that or watching like loud YouTube or fucking scrolling reels on social media. Volume all the way up. Oh, oopsies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hope you don't have any plans this weekend.
And maybe, that'll be a nice dopamine detox because they won't be able to
That's-
scroll for a while.
Well, what a thing to sell for. I mean, I saw Singapore just brought back lashings.
Caning. No,
Caning.
bring it back. They've just done that since the beginning.
Yeah.
That's how they cleaned it up,
Mm.
which is I remember I just spoke
Don't they
to a
soak
girl
it in a brine
who grew
or
up there.
something?
I
Yeah.
don't know about the brine,
Okay.
but I do know that they just literally, like, their capital punishment for lots of crimes is you get beaten in a very specific way.
Dude, it's like one of the cleanest countries.
Yeah, it's
They attract a lot of foreign capital too.
basically the Switzerland Asia. It's crazy because it literally went from like a swamp to a like first world, like a jewel of Asia.
Mm.
That would be another, like, that's once again, benevolent dictator, whoever, I forget the I've
Yeah.
heard all sorts of wild stuff and none of it's coming to mind. I can't even remember his name, the guy that founded or was like part of like the founding of
Singapore,
like modern
I don't know.
Singapore.
Yeah, it was those families that sort of weren't they in an outbreak of Chinese?
Yeah, I think they also technically have like very strict um,
Yeah.
ethnic quotas. But
Mhm.
they maintain a certain amount of Han Chinese. There's a certain amount. There's actually like ethnic limits and quotas that they keep to, interestingly enough, maintain order in their country.
Ethno states are sort of in vogue. They really are. I mean, you could say, man, they are making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, North Korea, China, Singapore,
Israel.
is-
I don't know.
Woo!
And with that,
Episode 2.
yeah,
And true that though.
yeah,
My nearly 30-year-old brother in Christ.
yeah. Cheers.
We are basically boomers together. We're the new boom.
Unks.
Unks. That. I remember getting called Unk for the first time.
Yeah. You had my knees wobbling a little.
a little bit of Bambi knee syndrome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was an incredible first episode. Hopefully, there's many more.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it'll be called Irreality. Maybe it'll be called what was it?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and I don't know where we're going to put this up yet, but I would encourage people, if they want to see us talk about a certain topic, leave a comment.
Yep.
Of course, any support for the show
Yeah.
early on here, we're grateful for.
Yeah, we will definitely put our Cash App's Venmo link in bio, shamelessly.
It's a tax write-off.
Buy me a coffee. Yeah, you can write it off.
Buy me a coffee.
That's an incredible, like, the fact that there's some website that exists only to donate the amount of $5 only
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah, right. It's like,
What kind of money laundering scheme is
yeah,
that?
that's actually going straight up that guy's nose.
as soon as he gets 10 coffees, he can buy a 50 bag.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, Dad's had a lot of coffee. Dad had a little too much caffeine. Oh, that is really good. I think the alcoholic dad character is one we could play around with.
'Cause there's a lot of different versions of that.
Just
too.
reserved. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Joe. This is.
I'm Taylor.
I almost forgot my friend's name. No. But yeah, thank you for joining. Smash that like and subscribe button or whatever it is on whatever platform you're using. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye, guys.